Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Proverbs, the 7th chapter. As it says here, the wiles of the harlot, which this is dealing with, wisdom on the right hand and also on the left hand, and it's using the woman. Okay, so you can look at it in the sense of both, because Solomon describes the nature of the strange woman or the harlot and how she can lead you to destruction, but also that is the same, that nature is if you were to personify left hand wisdom, that's what it would be like. Okay, so you are to watch out for both the physical woman, physical strange woman, and also the metaphorical strange woman, which are these doctrines and philosophies that are contrary and opposite of the wisdom given by Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai on the right hand side. So this is Proverbs chapter 7 verse 1. My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with with thee. When you lay up here, it's like to store up, as if you're storing treasure. So keep, amass this wisdom like treasure. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. So keep it close by you. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. So always keep it in mind. Your heart is your mind, so the table of your heart is like your memory. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. And what does that mean? That means you keep them close. Okay, like they are your close relatives. That that they may keep thee from the strange woman. See? So wisdom keeps you from the strange woman, right? Both from the woman, the metaphorical woman, which are these wayward doctrines and philosophies, left-hand practices. Wisdom keeps you from that, but wisdom also gives you, insight in how to deal with actual women, that you may stay away from a wicked and adulterous woman. Right? It says here that they may keep thee from the strange woman and from the stranger that flattereth with her words. And flattering with her words is a form of seduction. For at the window of my house. So now he goes into a almost like a short story to go into, to drive a point, right? So he says here, at the window of my house, I looked through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. So here, this young man that's lacking understanding, that's lacking wisdom, is now going in the direction towards the house of this strange woman. So you can visualize this as him walking to a harlot's house, or you can visualize this as like somebody like today who is going into, say, a congregation where they're teaching, some like false doctrine, and you can see that this person is clearly lacking the discernment to be able to tell that what they're being told or what they're about to hear is is not the truth, right? It says here, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with an attire of an harlot, and a subtle of heart. So as he went there, this woman, meets him, dressed in a way where, as it says, is an attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. See? So she's brazen, she's stubborn, she doesn't stay at home. Now she is without, now in the streets. So she's outside, she's in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner, waiting to seek who she can catch. And So is the case with this left hand and perverted wisdom. It's on every corner. And if you're not careful, you dodge one, you dodge two, the third might catch you, with enticing words. Nowadays, for example, when you look at how quickly misinformation or how quickly some false doctrine spreads through the internet, all you got to do is scroll. Now it's in your house, in your mobile phones, in your tablets, and in your computers. Everybody's writing about some belief, online or on some podcast, going into some, so-called deep mystery. So there's lurking on every corner this left hand perverse wisdom that is looking to entice those that are without understanding. You spend 20, 30 seconds watching a TikTok video, you go down this rabbit hole, clicking down some link, and now before you know it, you believing in the Anunnaki. It says here, so she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him. Now let's look at that word impudent. All right. It says here, Aizaz, to be strong, to prevail, to make firm. Hardened. So she's like bold, So what did she say unto him? I have peace offerings with me this day. I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Now, in saying that, what she's doing is, this is basically how like temptation, seduces you, right? So when she mentions the peace offerings, that is to seduce you spiritually, right? So as to not appear, as evil as she is, because she's made, she has peace offerings. That means she just made an offering, right? And she's paid her vows. So she's, she has some virtuous aspect to her. This is sort of that lulling, she may not be so bad after all. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. And and that is the use of flattery, right? She's trying to make the encounter appear intentional, right? Meaningful. Oh, I can't, you're the perfect guy. Oh man, I just found you, and wow, this had to be fate. God had to have led me to you. Yeah, okay. Verse 16, I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Now, in this short story of this woman seducing this young man void of understanding, this is likened onto how men have their minds polluted by the perverse wisdom of this world. Just as this woman is saying these things, seducing him to let his guard down, not sounding as bad, enticing this man, that is how the ways of this world entice people away from the Lord. Right? So she says, I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Now, I'll let you be the judge of what you think that means. If a woman is telling you about how everything is ready, today they'll say she has the free crib, and she's telling you, let's take our fill of love until the morning. What do you think that means? Right? Let us solace ourselves with love or with loves. Does that mean come home and let's play Uno, or Connect Four, or Ludo? Let's eat some crackers and play Ludo, and watch freaking Sophia the First, or Secret Agent Oso on Disney Channel. Clearly, that's not what she's talking about, right? It says here, NLT, come, let us drink our fill of love until morning. Let us enjoy each other's caresses. For the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. The good man is her husband. So that's why this man is void of understanding, because that's already a red flag. The good man is not at home, but one without understanding is going to think, oh, this is a great opportunity. He has gone on a long journey, or he has gone a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him. and will come home at the day appointed. The day appointed is referring to the next month. I believe that word goes into the moon actually. Let's see. Yeah, Kasa, it says the full moon. Okay, so he ain't gonna be back for a while. Is basically what she's saying. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. This is the, let's click this here, let's read this in the NLT. It says here, he followed her at once like an ox going to the slaughter. He was like a stag caught in a trap, right? Or a deer stepping into into a noose. And so that was how, she enticed him in this story to go and commit adultery with her, right? When left hand or perverted wisdom entices a man to engage or indulge in it, whether it's some form of idolatry, some form of a different belief. You have people that will say, oh, I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. When you watch the Elder Manasseh Zakbaz's videos, it shows a lot of people, right? There are a good amount of videos that show that, oh, I used to be a part of the Hebrew Israelites, but now I'm thank God I'm back to being a Christian, or I'm a Muslim, or I'm this. They don't realize that they've been seduced. Okay, they've been seduced and led astray in their minds, and now they're actually committing spiritual fornication. See, this man went and committed fornication in the story, but it's to symbolize also how lacking wisdom can cause you to fall prey to perverse wisdom, and through perverse wisdom and the actions that it causes you to do. See, this woman caused this man to commit actions that are against his own soul, i.e., adultery. What left hand wisdom causes you to commit actions that are against your own soul, but these are spiritual adultery, idolatry. This is going against the ways of the Heavenly Father. All right, so it says here, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. See? So he's basically walking into a trap and not realizing that he's basically bringing upon himself swift demise, right? Like a dart or an arrow that strikes through your liver that you don't see coming. And he's like a bird hasteth, meaning a bird that's quickly moving to the snare, to the trap. Because he's happy, he's excited, and knoweth not that it is for his life. See, he doesn't realize that this is this is a sin against his own life. Hearken unto me, therefore, or hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. Okay, let's go into that. Like when your heart is declining, let's take a look at that, and then we might look into some of these words, right? Don't let your heart stray toward her. So when you lean towards her, your heart is declining from the ways of righteousness. So don't let your heart decline or go astray and lead you to follow her ways, and go not astray in her paths, because she's going to cause you to go off. And what go off means to go in a wicked way. For she hath both the wicked physical woman and the wicked spiritual woman. For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. You see, now it's not necessarily, in this story here, but when you look at, men that have gone astray and followed, vain, doctrines, eventually it has led to their demise, no matter how great they were. Look at what happened to King Solomon, how he fell astray from the Lord, and the punishment the Lord said that would come upon him. But also Samson, as an example of a physical woman. Look at how Samson ended up meeting his demise. Was he not a mighty man? Was he not a strong man? but he fell through the seductive ways of a woman. Now, it wasn't because he was committing adultery, but it was through her, her womanish ways that she used to get him to give up his secret. So you have to be wary. Verse 27, her house is the way to hell, which is a grave, going down to the chambers of death. And that's why we call these these so-called churches harlot houses, okay? Because they lead you to the way of the grave. They're not bringing you spiritual, life or nourishment. Is leading you onto your demise. Okay? So you have to be very, very careful of that. And that brings us to the end of the book of Proverbs, the 7th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.